Hi guys, it's Dom here from Esports News UK at I62, and I'm joined by a very special guest today, Kiandymundi, the streamer, aka Andy. And I've said you're a streamer, but you're a man of many talents, right? What exactly are these different titles you have?
Yeah, I started out on YouTube, and I think I still primarily am on YouTube. Although it was about summer last year, I got a Twitch partnership, and that was after applying 4 times. So it was completely to my surprise, because I thought my 4th, 5th application just sort of got lost in the ether, and then a month or 2 later, they came back like, yeah, hey, you wanna be a partner? And I'm like, oh, okay, that's good. So about end of summer, I thought, okay, I need to start cracking down, doing more stuff, more eggs in different baskets, because YouTube famously doesn't really do well in the current state of affairs. So I got into streaming, and that taught me to be more disciplined in terms of self-managing my own time. Working from home, it's very easy for me to just wake up and vegetate. Yeah. And that is still work for me, because all I need to do is like draw, and it's very comfortable for me to just sit. I have a lot of screens, so it's very comfortable for me to just sit there and draw, and then I'll look at Twitter for 30 seconds and then do this and Twitter for 30, and it's a very bad habit, but it's a good habit. It can eat into my time. But in total, I do streaming, YouTube. I've got more, I'm thinking.
Yeah. Wearer of cool pink shirts, Pokemon shirts.
Cool pink shirts. Yeah, I like this. I've got a few other Pokemon shirts as well.
Nice.
I like them.
Well, there's so much to talk about, Andy. I guess we can talk about, like you mentioned it briefly, your creative process, and then also your style as well, because I think obviously you're very unique. But that creative process, you do things that a lot of others don't. I first got to know you through League of Legends, and you do these interesting videos where you come up with some of the characters, some of the champions in League of Legends, and completely like bastardize them and make them into these amazing, funny things.
Bastardized. I agree 100%. That's the point. They're supposed to be as obscene as possible. Yeah. Like, what happens when you take, I don't know, what happens when you take Lux? Imagine if Lux was a wax figure and you just melt her in a microwave. What would it look like? Let's draw it like that. You know what I mean?
What gave you those ideas? I want to get into your sort of creative psyche. How did you first come across that idea and think of putting it into content creation?
A guy called David Firth. He's an animator. If you've not heard of his name, you've heard of his work, Salad Fingers.
Oh, of course. Yeah,
which is just creepy, off the wall. Like, if it's hyper. I wouldn't say realistic. It's just hyper detailed and just sort of wrinkly, and you know what I mean. And I thought, okay, that's kind of funny, but it's not really supposed to be funny. So I sort of took that as inspiration, but put my own take on it, and mine is a lot more comedic than that in terms of the way my drawings look. But one of my favourite drawings I did was Ergot before he had his rework.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And it's just a brown blob. It's literally just a brown blob, and it's when I draw things, I want to look at it and think, if it had a voice, what would it say? It's just like, put me out my misery, please. Like,
but you obviously do a lot more than that. So you stream League of Legends and do videos. You do other games as well, right?
Yeah, I play. I mostly start out with League. My formula for streaming is I'll do the first few hours League, because that's what most people want. But then I'll branch out into other stuff that I want to do, because I don't want to condition my viewers to only be used to one game, because should anything else come out that I want to do, they'll just immediately zone out, and that's not fun. So I do Sea of Thieves right now, because Sea of Thieves is a lot of fun. I do Hearthstone occasionally, PUBG a lot. What else do I do?
You on the Fortnite bandwagon yet, or do you not want to get on that?
I don't know. I don't want to. I know it's huge, and I was saying this last night to a friend. I was saying, I wish I jumped on the Fortnite bandwagon in terms of YouTube content. Maybe it would be really good, but 1, I don't have the time, and 2, I don't really have an interest in it right now, so I don't want it to be insincere.
Yeah.
I don't want artificial, wow, guys, I'm really enjoying this, when I'm not.
Yeah.
The thing I like about battle royale as a genre, which is new to me, because I'm like a year late to the PUBG hype. I like that it's realistic. I mean, PUBG obviously has a load of bugs, but it's realistic in the sense that, I don't know, everything looks real. If you see someone 2 kilometers away, you have to accommodate for how far away they are with your bullet drop, X, Y, and Z. And I'm not that good, But if I did make that shot, I'd feel so good about myself. You know what I mean? I like that. Whereas Fortnite is, it makes me think of like Overwatch, sort of. And Overwatch is good, but it's totally different. You know what I mean?
When you're saying you're not that good, now this is one of the things with League. There's this notion in the industry, in the community, that to be a streamer or content creator, you need to be high elo, and you've got people like Groscore trying to get master tier and diamond, and people taking the mick out of him saying, "Oh, the diamond police are pulling you back down. You're really a platinum player," and all that stuff. Now, what elo are you?
Silver 1 currently, into my gold promos, but after the 10 games that you placed in at the start of the season, haven't touched it.
Well,
I have. The thing is, I've been playing since season 1, so 8 years now.
Wow.
And you play a game for 8 years, you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? So I have this, like, all my friends joke, go, haha, you're only silver or bronze or wherever, or unranked, because I've gone whole seasons where I don't do my placements.
Yeah.
And I'm like, say what you will, I've played this game for 8 years. Okay, you played it for 4. Just chill. Yeah, some people may be mechanically better than me, but I know what I'm doing. So I don't play it competitively. The 2 branches that you're talking about, that you were touching on, are elo and, for me, comedy. You've got people like Dyrus, Voyboy, whoever, and they came over from streaming onto YouTube. They would start to upload their streams onto YouTube and stuff, and that's good. And then you've got people like Foxdrop, G-Bay, who talk about informative content, how to get better at the game, and that's good. But when I first got pulled into League, it was Donkey, it was it was things like that, funny things, stupid, senseless. Have you ever seen a Donkey video? They're a few years old now.
A while ago, yeah.
He's rambling on about spaghetti and whatever else. It's just funny to me. It's literally, it's one step above toilet humor, and that's not an insult. That's people like to go, oh, it's
like a laugh. It's
unsophisticated. No, it's funny. It's really, really funny. I like that sort of stuff. I know that lately the whole, YouTube meta has shifted to a place where people search the algorithm for, how can I get better at this? How can I do that? So you've got a million videos saying, new Irelia, jungle full AP, you won't believe what happens next. And it's like, okay, that's one way to do it, but
how can I draw Lux being melted into wax?
Yeah, I would rather do that. My Irelia drawing literally looks like it was melted as well. It's literally Frostblade Irelia, but just sort of decrepit and, just what you would expect it to be. Well, I'll send you some images that you could put into your article as well, like some high-res PNGs that you can throw in.
That'd be great. Well, listen, I was silver 2, silver 3. So you're better than me, and I was awful. I wasn't awful, but compared to a lot of my readers and people that view EN UK will be playing in the UK League tournaments, who are, Diamond Master and Plus. So I do feel a little bit like, has this guy got enough experience to write about our games? But then there's football pundits that can't play football, so that's my excuse.
You do, because people who are diamond, I think they like to forget. I think they actually like to forget the fact that they are 1% of the player base. Literally, really maybe less than 1%. So when new updates come out, and I've had people in diamond, some of my friends say to me, "Oh, I can't believe this singed updates. Do people not understand? Do Riot not know what they're doing with their game?" It's like, hold on, you're the 1%.
Yeah.
They're a capitalist business who are, accommodating for everyone else who wants to just have fun in it. It's a game, remember? It's a game. Chill. But I only took ranked serious in about season 2 or 3, and back then I played on NA because most of my friends who got me into the game played on NA, and it was the first MOBA I ever played, so I never really cared about ping, or I had like 150 ping. I was used to it. I never knew any better. So then when I started YouTube, I thought, right, I'm gonna have to move on to my own server sort of thing and do my own stuff. About a season or so later, in season 4, I can't go back now. I could never go back onto American ping. I don't play competitively, and I don't care about that, but just small things like that when you're playing a new genre of game. Like when I said I was introduced to PUBG, I never played a battle royale before then. And I know they've existed for a long time before, but I couldn't do it. It's too much. But I do pride myself I've got a question for you actually.
Okay.
What's your favourite skin? I'll tell you mine first. Not favourite. What skin do you own that you're proud of? Like your rare gem of a skin.
Yeah. I liked back when I started playing. I started playing in 2012, so I don't know if that was season 3, season 4, something like that. 2012, 2013.
That would have been 3. I think.
Season 3, and I loved an Eevee at the time. So when Black Frost, I've got Black Frost, and I like that skin.
Yeah.
But I also do like the Kale. I can't remember what it's called now. It's been so long since I played it. Yeah, the one where she's sort of flying about. It's kind of like robotic. I think it's Judgment Kale.
Ether Wing.
Ether Wing, that's it.
Ether Wing.
Yeah. And so I like those two. What about you?
Well, I don't play Kale, but my skin that I'm proud of is Judgment Kale, which you got for playing 10 match-made games in Season 1.
I don't have that.
Some people are saying, I had this conversation a few months ago on Twitter, some people are saying that's not true. It was if you participated in the tribunal back when that existed.
Right, yeah.
I'm not sure if that's true. It makes a lot more sense. Judgment Kale, of course, it makes more sense that it's a tribunal thing.
Is that the blue one?
Yeah, blue with brown wings. It's not particularly flashy or great, but I like the exclusivity. I don't care what skins actually look like. I care more about exclusivity. King Rammus, Black Alistar, things like Rusty Blitzcrank is so bad. It's literally, it looks like normal Blitzcrank, 1% darker.
It's got that thing about it. It's like shiny Pokemon, right?
Right, exactly. It's like that. It's like shiny Pokemon.
Who's your favourite shiny Pokemon? Or do you have one?
My first shiny Pokemon I caught was a Golden Fearow.
Really? What, just randomly?
Just randomly. This was when I was like just in college, so I didn't really know about like the competitive strategies of like finding them. I just sort of came across it and I'm like, hold on, that's a weird colour.
Because if I came across a shiny and I didn't know it was a shiny, I might have just killed it. I've honestly thought that about previous games before I knew shinies existed.
The magic of shiny Pokemon very quickly evaporated because my first shiny Pokemon that I got was on DS, and by the time DS was out, the internet was out. You could then trade globally with people. So within seconds of going online, you'd have shiny legendary Pokemon with Japanese names coming in. They're level 1. They've obviously been hacked into the game, but they are there. You know what I mean? It's like the luxury is lost.
I think my first one was for a game offer they had. It was a shiny Charizard, the black Charizard. But then I came across one randomly. I came across 2 randomly in the wild, and they're rubbish Pokemon. There's one that's this drunk thing with swirly eyes.
Spinder, I
think.
Or
something like that. And then, or Spinra, something like that. And then there's a stupid green guy with like his hat, like a sombrero, like a Mexican hat thing.
I know what you mean.
So I felt like I was cursed, not blessed, to find shiny Pokemon because they're ugly, horrible things.
I realise I'm wearing a Pokemon t-shirt, but I haven't actually like had that much of an interest in Pokemon in recent years. It's sort of, I feel like the magic of it is lost because nowadays everyone cares. Competitive Pokemon. There's so many of them. There's literally like Chairmon, Tablemon. There's literally a candlestick. There's literally an ice cream it's a Pokemon that. Okay, you know like the old Pokemon, there's Grimer and Muck, those blobs, right? Now they've got Trubbish, which is it's a plastic bag, a black bin bag of rubbish, and it's called Trubbish.
It's a Trubbish idea, Pokemon company.
Trubbish. Can I just Trubbish? Can we just Trubbish? There's no need at all.
We're going on a random tangent here, but back when my wife was a teacher, she actually put something up in the school because I think Pokemon was in at that point. There was a craze, and she said something like, "Make sure you put all your Trubbish in the bin afterwards," and put a picture up, trying to engage with the kids and be fun, you know. But what I wanted to ask, one thing I really wanted to ask was about your style and everything and your ethos, because I think you're very different to a lot of content creators out there. You know, you've got this interesting style. You do those animations and things compared to a lot of League streamers that just do the high-low games or whatever else, entertainment value and things like that. You've got the entertainment value, but you've got your own style. You know, do you have? What I wanted to ask, I guess, is like some YouTubers and streamers out there, like KSI and people like that. I know he's, an exception. He doesn't do League and things like that, but he has his sort of persona on camera, and then he's different when he's off camera.
Oh, I'm exactly the same.
You're exactly the same. Genuine.
I'm very, very lively on camera, on my streams especially, and then the second I press end stream, I just become lethargic and I just sort of melt and vegetate in my chair and grunt. I don't even bother forming words after that. I can often be like that exhausted. Literally, I'll end my stream sometimes like 10, 11 at night, and then I'll just like crawl into my private Discord room and I'll just be like, anyone want to play PUBG? And I'll just have them. I'll have them do all the loot for me. I'll have them like do all the hard stuff. I'll just sort of sit there and have them carry me around. I'm just like, we're playing games, guys.
So you're the same, but you're sort of chilling out, and like
so I have a persona. It's much more energetic. I think most people. Yeah, I think everyone, even if they say they don't, I genuinely think that might be like a marketing thing because they don't want people to see behind the veil. But it's human nature. Everyone has an elated version of themselves that they want to broadcast to other people. You know,
Syndicate. I was at the pub quiz last night, the iSeries pub quiz, and Syndicate was on a table 2 down from mine. And, he's just sitting chilling on his phone and looking at me. But when he's on camera, he's animated and that. And you've got to be able to switch on and do that. I'm not very good at doing that. I write
can't be
articles,
like that all the time. That's the thing. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you would just burn up and it would be way too much.
How do you do, talking of burnout and stuff, do you do all your editing and stuff like that? That's a lot of work.
The thing is, for me, when I started my cartoons, I know they're bad now, but they're a good bad. And that's what I want. I want them to actually be like kind of good, but deliberately bad at the same time. They take me a lot less time now to make than they did 2 or 3 years ago when I started. 2 or 3 years ago, it would take me a full week to make. When I look back on them now, I think that is so terrible. It looks like I've done it in paint. Anyone could do that, and I do it now in the space of maybe 1 or 2 days instead of 7 or 8 days. And that's everything: production, that's animation, writing, voiceover, editing, everything. And then, so from blank Word documents to final uploaded video, 15 hours. It can be compressed into that small space of 15 miserable hours. I would never do that unless there was like some massive scheduling thing. I'd rather pace myself and have it be, put more time and quality into it. But they can't take that amount of time, but I do everything myself. I've considered hiring an editor. The 2 reasons that I haven't in the past is, 1, I don't know how much to pay one, and I don't want to be paying much to someone else when I know I can do it myself. I don't want the magic of my editing, and I'm not a great editor. I don't even know how to use After Effects. A lot of the professional editors do. I do Vegas, everything in Vegas, so it's just so much easier. But I like that simplicity. So I'd rather do it all myself. Maybe one day in future I could hand over less important things to an editor. So for example, I could do I could give them a stream highlight and say, chop this up sensibly, so it's watchable. But I would never let them do a cartoon. No. The cartoons are obviously mine.
Have you ever had any like fan creations sent in that you thought that's quite good?
I have. Quite good now.
Or no, fan mail.
Not at all. It's all atrocious. But that's good. I want it to be atrocious. Yeah. I've had a few people. I'm gonna have to dig up these images and send them to you so that you can put them in an article.
No, please do, yeah. And I'll put them in this.
Okay, so I made this. By all means, I made this hybrid champion, and I only did it because I saw my friend Uber Danger do it. He called it the greatest champion in League of Legends, and it had like Skarner for an arm, Mundo for an arm. You know what I mean? It was a hybrid of like a million. It was about 10 to 30 different champions all meshed together in a big mess. So literally, like I don't know, Darius's axe held by Lux, and Lux's arm is attached to Ergot and X, Y, and Z. So I thought, okay, that's a good idea. But what he did it in Photoshop. Well, yeah, it was like Frankenstein. He did it in Photoshop, and he took actual League of Legends art. I thought, okay, I can take this idea, but I can genuinely make it my own because I do animation. I actually draw my own original stuff. So if I did my own version of this, I mean, even if I did a blatant copy of his video, he wouldn't be bothered. We're friends. Yeah. I think people on the other side of YouTube, like from the viewer's perspective, think that there's a lot of, I don't know, sort of animosity and competitiveness. But and I thought this way too. It was a weirdly toxic way of thinking. And then I matured and became a content creator myself and realized, oh, actually, everyone is just nice and respectful. It's, you know what I mean?
And you help each other. I have it with the websites, UK CSGO and all the other good guys, you know, Esports Insider and things like that.
But as I was saying, this I took the idea, made it my own, all my drawings. So I'd put like my drawing of Ergot attached to my drawing of Hecarim attached to X, Y, and Z, and I created this monstrosity, and I just gave it a note. I just called it James. Just there's no one called James. I just thought give it a bog standard name, and it'll be funny.
I need to see that. Was that on
my
your stream?
Drawing? I'll show you my drawing of it, which is not that great. It's just a mess. But I then had 2 pieces of fan art that must have taken hours to draw, because they actually drew my awful hybrid creation, but it looked so good. I mean, the amount of effort that people put into work, whether it's 2 minutes or 2 hours, I appreciate it. I think it's good, especially people like to draw. I think I've got a very distinguished appearance, so I'm easy to draw. I've got like big hair and beard. I look like a cartoon character already, so I'm easy to draw.
I described you as Neon Jesus in the article
Neon
I wrote
Jesus.
a while back.
Yeah, I remember that. Neon Jesus. I like that.
Just lastly, before we tie it up, Riot have got this UK office now, and they're doing this Forge of Champions. Foxdrop did some stuff with them in a teaser video. Do you like this new focus they've got? Have they reached out to? Because I know they've reached out to UK teams. Have they reached out to content creators as well? Are you excited about what they're doing?
I'm not too familiar with. Like I said, I've always been more interested in the comedy side of League of Legends. So when it comes to the competitive scene, I'm not really that engaged in it. But I'm well aware that Riot have spent the past X amount of months setting up a proper foothold in the UK to bolster the scene. They have contacted me, not for esports related reasons, just for general community reasons. So I'm working on some stuff with them. Cool. I'm not sure if I can mention it. I mean, it will be out soon, TM. Yeah. And that is.
I don't think it's a secret that they work. They've said that they've engaged with the community.
One thing is Easter weekend that should be out literally on tomorrow, maybe.
Oh right.
I'm not sure.
If it is, I'll put a link in the description.
It's just a little funny Easter video. It's like a 30-second cartoon. But I won't say what it's about because that'll spoil it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to have, Andy? We've had a good chat about all kinds of stuff.
Let me think. People always ask me. Which people always ask everyone, how did you get into what you're doing, and would you how would you advise other people getting into it? And there's the whole follow your dreams, kids, but I prefer the more sensible thing of I got lucky. And if I was the thing is, I was a straight shooter from high school onwards. I went straight into college, no resits, then straight from college to uni, no resits. But then in my second year of uni, of doing biomed, I dropped out. So I did a completely massive 180 and went down a completely different path. I was smart once, you know what I mean? and
you still are now.
A funny story is, when we were at the pub quiz at I-58 League Fest, I was on the same table as G-Bay, Voyboy, Philol, etc. And I'm the one answering all these questions, all the difficult questions, like what is the Latin name of blah blah blah? I'm like, oh, I know that. And they're like, dude, I thought you were like stupid or something. I'm like, what? What makes you? What makes you think? No, they said it as a joke, but what makes you think that? Obviously, I knew why, because all they've seen is me like drawing like stupid shit. But I mean,
gotta be. I'm not just saying this to suck up or anything, but art and things like that. It's a different kind of content creation. You've got to be. You've got to have that sort of creative thing.
What I'm doing is not the most popular thing. The only reason I can continue to make cartoons on a weekly basis is because I have support from Twitch as well, and Patreon and stuff like that. But the thing I like about YouTube for me is I know for a fact what I do is to a major degree original. I don't think I can name another League of Legends animator who uploads every single week. I've done it every single week for about 3 or 4 years now.
An animator.
And I stop and think about that. I go, what, every single week? It's been 3 years. No one else does that.
You had a holiday, week holiday.
I have places like this, but I need to go on holiday more. Whenever I travel abroad, it's normally for like work / it's a combination of the two, which I really enjoy. I actually get energy from that anyway.
You're chilling out here as well. Thanks for doing the interview.
I am chilling out here, but what I would say as a closing question, like advice to people, is don't, if you want to be a streamer or a YouTuber, do it if you have the time alongside other things. If you're in college, if you're at work, focus on that until you have grown it to a stable platform where you can actually, work from it. Because I got lucky with one video that went viral. That was literally, it wasn't even a good video. I look back at it now, it is so terrible. By my current standards, it's just not good. But people liked it, so I made more, and over time I got better at it. It's a difficult. It's the frontier, isn't it? Really, it's still. I mean, esports and gaming, YouTube vloggers. It's been around for like 5-6 years now, properly, but it's still a frontier. Nobody. Do we have unions? We don't, do we?
There's this Players Esports Association, but it's not really.
But I mean, YouTubers don't really.
Not really, no, not on a grand scale across all the games.
We sort of just succumb to the terms and conditions of Google, really, at the end of the day, or Twitch or whoever. Although I really do like Twitch as a company. I feel like their ethos and the way they handle, the way they look after their partners and anyone who uses the website really is really good. Maybe that's they're owned by Amazon now, right?
Yeah.
That could be why. It's good that they've got that level of large funding from something else, because that gives you security, knowing that the platform will go somewhere in future. It will become something good.
And they're doing a lot of Twitch student stuff at the moment as well, like getting universities involved. Well, they're going to doing stuff with the National University Esports League. So they're thinking of it. Obviously, to them, it means potential more streamers, more viewers, and things. But the way they're going about it is good. You know. Anyway, is it all good?
That's everything I gotta say. Other than you can ask me anything else, but off the top of my head,
I think we've done a good explorative chat there. Talked about your creative process, League of Legends, shiny Pokemon. I can put in the headline. That's interesting. And shiny Pokemon shirts as well.
Yeah. I just realised I literally forget that I wear outrageous t-shirts. All my friends joke and make fun of me for it, but I like them. They're nice. You know,
only certain people can pull them off. And like I was saying before the interview, I'm more plain sort of light or dark clothing, but I've got a few friends that pull off pinks and bright yellows and things. I'm from Essex.
So you're saying I pull it off then?
Yeah, of course.
See.
Yeah. I'm not just saying that either.
That's me saying see to my friends if they watch this.
Told you. I
told you. Yeah.
Not all of them.
Yeah. Sasha. Shout out to Sasha.
Yeah. Shout out to Sasha. Not here.
Hates my fashion sense. Totally.
She says she hates it. She probably loves it, really.
Yeah.
Anyway, on that note, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks, Andy, for talking to me, and have a good show.
Cool.
Cheers, mate.